One of the first programs we did was sharing a program with Anna Halpern. And that we were so different from her. We were much more technical dancing. And interestingly enough, we would get phone calls that said, do you teach ballroom? Do you teach, what is modern dance? Do you teach, waltzes and tango and things like that? We said, no, modern dance is modern dance. It's a specific style of movement. You mean like stage dancing? Yes. And a lot of people were not aware from the phone calls we got of what it meant.
Did you mention certain technique? Did you say I teach?
Yeah, we say Martha Graham, and a lot of people didn't know who she was. Because she was the nearest thing. She was the most well-known.
Yes.
And so I said, well, like Martha Graham. But then Martha did come to Cal, and but a lot of people didn't go. A lot of people didn't go to see something they didn't know about.
Right.
She was very big in the East. Interesting.
Yes. So yes, let's hear about how you started the Shawl Anderson Dance Center.
We came back to New York with the intention of starting a school. And as I said earlier, Dorothy Pring helped us find a studio, and Mrs. Kehoe was only using it a few nights a week, or a few afternoons a week, and when she unfortunately died in an automobile accident, we took over the responsibility of the school. Victor started to teach her ballet classes, and we kept our modern classes, and that was the beginning of teaching in Berkeley.
But then you moved eventually across the street?
Yes, that was 10 years after starting there, and it was that corner was very good to us. That area, it was a bordered Oakland, Berkeley, easy access to San Francisco. We had a lot of students coming from the city. We even had students coming from Stanford, down the peninsula. We had students coming from Sacramento Ballet, and we really, as I say, Ruth Beckford sent us students. Mimi Kagan, when she left, steered her students in our direction. Of course, it was up to them to come, and we took hold. It took a while, but we took hold. Now that building was a big commitment to buy a space, but a woman who was studying with us said, you guys should have your own space, because you'll lose one after the other, because space is a premium, and renting is risky. And that's exactly what happened. After 10 years, we were given our notice. They needed the space. She said, get your own place. And that building across the street is for sale. And it's commercially zoned. Well, buying it's one thing, but turning it into a
dance studio,
a dance center, which meant gutting a 4-bedroom house, was another.
Expensive, I imagine.
It cost more to do the remodeling than to purchase the purchase price of the house. So we had to double, and get so in debt, committed to mortgages, second mortgages, and it was a big, I would say, a risk,
yes,
but people believed in us, and we said, you'll make it, you'll do it.
Yeah.
And we had such supportive people around us who said, do it. And you know, we were very unsure because own a building, tear it apart, and turn it into what you know, and look what's happened.
Yeah, wonderful.
So the rest is history, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you opened the dance center in 1968?
68.
68.
68. From 58 to 68.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved probably
Yeah.
68.
Yeah. Which was a very momentous year in Berkeley.
Oh, it was. There were tanks in the corner of Alcatraz and College, and the tear gas. You had to close the window because they were spraying tear gas at the students. The student upheaval.
Right.
You know, in the Berkeley campus that went all the way to the border of Berkeley. And we were at the border of Berkeley and Oakland.
So
in Berkeley.
Did the events affect your studio? Did it affect your dance, your choreography?
It was not really, but you just keep going. And you keep doing what you need to do. But you didn't open the windows because there was tear gas coming through. You know, all the way from campus, all the way to the Oakland-Berkeley border. And there was I remember absolutely a tank in the street.
Yeah.
They called out the military or something. It was bizarre. But just like in New York when there was the Deep Depression, my teachers taught when people were on bread lines and, you know, soup kitchens, and people were tremendously poor and out of work circumstance, and they taught for like a quart, 25 cents a class. And you know, classes were packed. Why? Because the class dancing lifts the spirit. And I think that's what really is so important. In bad times, people hang on to the things that lift their spirit. And art in general, not just dance, but all art, is something that improves your life or lifts your spirit about life and the circumstances you may happen to be dealing with.
That's wonderful. Maybe we should end with a quote that I've remembered from you about, you said dance is about addiction. Do you remember what you said?
Oh, it's a good addiction.
You said it's the best form.
It's the best kind of addiction.
Yes.
Because it is healthful, supporting of your health, your energy, and your spirit.
Yes.
And what more? It's not damaging in any way. If you teach well, and the technique is right, you know, here I am at 80, still dancing.
That's wonderful.
You know, and so that it has nourished me, and I think it nourished all the dancers and students that have come through Shawl Anderson. Recently we had a birthday for me, my 80th birthday. People came from generations back to attend. There were close to 400 people in our building. And some of them were, it was like such a reunion for some of them. They hadn't seen each other in many years. Some of them came from long distances to come. And they were so, it was so joyful to see them reconnecting. Some of them were in tears of joy to be back in this place that meant so much to them. You know?
That's wonderful.
I thought it was so marvelous.
Yes.
It wasn't about us, it was about them, you know. It was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think of in this, it's a house, but still a relatively small space. But even there are so many, thousands of people have come in and out and gone on.
Yep, and gone on to wonderful careers. And both teaching, performing, all over the world, even in Europe.
Well,
you know.
thank you very much. Thank you
My
for speaking
pleasure.
to us, and thank you for Shawl Anderson.
Well, it's a joy. We found home. Berkeley has been very wonderful to us. You know, very definitely.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.